getting a lot more questions about manifestation. And so let's talk about how to manifest. And we're gonna get really specific on how to manifest with the moon. So if you're new here, my name is Misty Shaheen and I'm a health and life coach. I help women overcome emotional eating struggles, to lose weight and feel confident in their body. I've been working with women on and off for about 10 years. After overcoming my own emotional eating struggles, I dropped 36 pounds and I started creating a life I didn't need a vacation from. So I have been using manifestation techniques since before I knew what manifestation even was. So I've talked before, if you watched one of my previous episodes, I talked about how to create a life you love. I'll link it here. I've talked before about my whole journaling practice that I utilized when I was starting my weight loss journey. I talked about, I would utilize gratitude and affirmations, and I would write down my goals. And I actually set goals every single month. And so I'm gonna call myself out here. I haven't always been consistent with my meal plan or workout plan or even any goal I set. And setting monthly goals became a way for me to always just be setting new goals and just keeping myself motivated, keeping myself accountable, and also just shaking things up. So, if you are on a weight loss journey, you're trying to lose 40 pounds. Sometimes it feels like you've been trying to lose the same 40 pounds for 6 months. Am I right? So by setting monthly goals and smaller goals, I was able to just keep myself going a lot longer. I was able to mix it up and add variety. And so I wasn't always just focused on losing 40 pounds. It would be like, well, this month I'm going to focus on drinking more water. And the next month I would say, okay, I want to walk more. And so it was just a way to keep up leveling. It was a way to keep my mind adding in variety to my goals, shaking things up. And so I wasn't always just doing the same thing over and over and over. So there are 4 main parts to manifestation. They do align with the moon cycle. So we'll talk about the moon cycle in a little while. First of all, let's just talk about how a goal manifests. So we know you can't hit a goal you didn't set. So step number 1 is just being clear about what you want and what is the goal. What is it that you want? And just being super clear with what it is. Whatever, if it's health focused, if it's money focused, if it's lifestyle, if it's a specific partner, relationship, just what is it that you want? What is the goal? So step number 2 is how are you gonna get there? Step number 2 is not just I wanna lose weight, but okay, I know that I need to do 1, 2, 3 to get there. So these can look like little projects for yourself. Like, okay, I want to lose 40 pounds. I know I need to cut out fast food. And I know I need to work out more. And I know I need to not drink as much. So those are just random things I'm throwing out there, but that's what the project part of this looks like. Is like, yes, you have your big goal, but then breaking it down into specific actionable steps that you could take to reach your goal. So step number 3 is actually doing the thing, taking action, because manifestation isn't just thinking about it. It's actually like doing the work. I didn't lose 36 pounds by sitting on the couch wondering how I was going to lose 36 pounds. I was like, okay, I know I need to do, and now I'm going to do it. And then lastly, you really have to believe that it's possible. And this is tricky because if you have had the same goal over and over again, or you have tried different things, a lot of times our brain just reverts back to, well, you tried that before. It didn't work before. And we talk ourselves out of things faster than we talk ourselves into things. Now, your brain's main job is to keep you safe. And safe is staying comfortable, but it's not always getting out of your comfort zone. Understanding, one, believing in yourself that yes, you got this, you can do this, but also keeping the faith that, okay, I know if I do 1, 2, 3, and I focus in and I do this day in and day out and I'm consistent with it, I know eventually it's gonna happen. And it's not 1 week later jumping on the scale and feeling defeated because 1 week went by and you haven't lost anything. It is being able to stay consistent and to stay diligent in reaching your goals by doing the thing you said you're gonna do, even when it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Keeping the faith. And this is where a lot of people struggle. So let's talk about how you can utilize the moon and or your natural cycle to manifest. So the moon is we have a new moon every 28 days. And you know what else is every 28 days? If you are a woman or a cis female, you have a natural cycle that is every 28 days. And that's not a coincidence that the moon and Mother Nature runs on the same cycle as our physical bodies. We were literally created to bring life into this world. And so yes, you have manifestation powers. So there are 4 main phases of the moon I'm going to talk about, and ironically, not ironically, you have 4 main phases in your cycle, in your period cycle, in your fertility cycle. We're going to talk about the new moon, the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the last quarter moon. So the new moon phase is when the sun and the moon are actually in the same sign. We have a new moon every single month, every 28 days, and it's when the sun and the moon are aligned and they're in the same sign and they're usually at the same degree. So they're like basically sitting on top of one another. And this is a dark phase of the moon. It's like the sun and the moon are our luminary. They are the lights of the world, right? We can see in the sunlight, we can see in the moonlight, but with a new moon, it's a dark period of the moon where we really can't see. And so we have to utilize our intuition. We have to utilize, it's really a period of going within and asking yourself some reflecting questions of what is it that I want in my life? What's not working? And it's not always like looking outside, but it's really like understanding how you're feeling, understanding what you really need in your life. In other episodes, I am going to go through and talk about what each new moon every month. I'm going to do an episode on whatever that season is and some insights that you can, themes that you can manifest under for that particular new moon. But today we're keeping it general. New moon is really just a phase of using your intuition and setting goals based on how you feel. And this is also, it coincides with your menstrual period phase. So the period you're actually bleeding. This is a period when you may be low energy. The new moon, you're going to be lower energy. It is Mother Nature's way of saying, hey, I don't need you out in the world right now. I need you to really be with yourself right now. It is a period of rest and it is a period of reflection. And so when we are on our period, we usually do crave more time to ourselves. We're lower energy. You can do some journaling practices, meditation. These are a good ways to utilize this particular phase, whether you're using the moon or you're using your actual period. Now, the second phase is the first quarter moon. And the first quarter moon is, when we talked about setting projects, understanding, okay, if this is what I want, how am I going to get there? And so I know this, I need to work on this, I need to work on this, and I need to work on this. It's setting the projects. And if you are into cyclical living and utilizing your natural cycle, this is the follicular phase. And it is just generally a phase where you start to get more momentum, your energy's starting to rise, you have new ideas, you have new interests, sparks, and you're willing to try new things. So, third phase of the moon is the full moon. And the full moon is when the moon is full, we can see now, right? Whereas the new moon, we couldn't really see, we're utilizing our intuition more, but now the full moon is shedding full light on what's really going on here. So at this point, you've set a goal, you have some projects you're working on, you're starting to take action, and then all of a sudden, the full moon illuminates something an obstacle that may be in the way. It is a period of celebration, celebrating the progress you're making. And this is where a lot of people go wrong, is people who just have general goals in general. Like, say you have a weight loss goal and you've dropped 5 or 10 pounds. All you can think is, why am I not to my goal? Why am I not to my goal? I don't understand. I'm doing all these things. Instead of celebrating the progress that you have made. Maybe you joined a gym and you started working out 3 days a week. That's progress. Even though you're not necessarily seeing the result on the scale, that is progress. And so one thing about the full moon, it is about celebrating the progress you've made, but two, it's understanding the obstacles that are in your way and releasing what you cannot control. And so part of the manifestation process that a lot of people do not understand, it's like they have this goal and they set this goal and they kind of have in their head about how they're going to go about it. But sometimes the universe or Mother Nature has other plans. And so it's one thing about having the faith that you can have what you want, but releasing how you're going to get there or when you're going to get there. So the full moon, this is how this coincides with your natural cycle. This is the ovulation phase. The full moon and ovulation phase both were of our highest energy throughout the month. So this is the period of that our bodies are mating. We're in their highest fertility cycle. It's when we are in ovulation, and our bodies or Mother Nature or God or the universe, whatever you believe, it's actually a period of highly social energy. It's where you want to be out talking with other people. It's where you want to be in that celebratory energy where you're out, you're socializing, you're meeting new people, and you are just having all this excitement. And then the last phase of the moon is the last quarter phase. And this is really a wrap-up phase. And this is where it's like, okay, you've set your goal, you have your projects in place, you've started taking action, you're celebrating the progress you've made, and now you're kind of wrapping up any loose ends. This is a period of winding down. Now your energy is starting to go, is starting to wind down a little bit, and you're starting to prepare to go back into that period cycle or the new moon cycle where you are going to be your lowest energy and you're getting ready to set new goals. So the last quarter moon coincides with your luteal phase. And the luteal phase is, there's something in our brain where we start to think, okay, what really do I need to get going here? What is the stuff that I said I wanted to do, but I haven't been doing? And so now it's just time for me to go, 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 go. It's not a period of like high energy, go, go, go. It's just a period of like I said, wrapping up loose ends. It might be the stuff that you've been procrastinating on. It's often the stuff that is tedious, like meal prep, meal planning, those kinds of things that isn't so sexy, but you know you need to do. So luteal phase, or the third quarter moon or last quarter moon, is all about just wrapping things up. And as we go back into that new moon phase, we're gonna start to be lower energy, and it's a time of reflection again. I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a better awareness about the manifestation process and or the setting goals with the new moon. Manifestation is not overnight. It is, a series. It's a process of setting goals and then taking action and then kind of waiting in for the harvest. You can think about this from the seasonal aspect of it also, where winter is like very hibernation. It's your reflection. Spring, you're planting new seeds. Spring is a time of planting seeds, where summer is a time of just watering consistently, giving those seeds the nutrients that they really need. And then fall is a time of harvest. You start to see the fruits of your labor. So as I'm recording this, we're coming up on a full moon in Capricorn, and then we're gonna come up on a new moon in Cancer, and I will be sure to do another video about Cancer season and what you can start to manifest with that new moon in Cancer.